Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Black Spinner Music Podcast. I keep on forgetting because I keep changing it every week.
I think I
What?
started a bad trend.
Stick
Yeah,
to a name and stick
Take
to it.
two.
yeah,
To
I
it,
know.
man.
I keep on trying to run through different names, but today, guys, what I do not get wrong is today's topic. We are going to be having a vinyl battle. We love doing vinyl battles. We do it about once a month here. And today we're going to be hitting on 1983. We are going to be hitting on Metallica's Master of Puppets
86.
versus Megadeth's Peace Sells, but Who's Buying? Those are two thrash albums that are very important to the thrash community, to hard rock, rock and roll, everything in that umbrella. These two albums are very important. Let's go around and let's meet who is at the panel. Today we got a very special guest. We have Metal Ben Schuster, first time on Black Spinner Circle. Welcome, Metal Ben. How are you?
I'm really good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of
Yes,
course.
I run the Metal Bent Chronicles YouTube channel, and I also have another YouTube channel called the Metal Bastards Hangout Podcast.
Yep. Yes, you do. I was about to touch on that. Also, I wanted to ask you about your band, Holocaust. How can people go and hear your band's EPs and stuff your band has to offer? Where would they have to go?
Well, you can go to Bandcamp. I do have a Bandcamp page. It's holocaust1/bandcamp.com if you want to check it out.
Mhm.
And we play thrash metal. Well, it's a one-man project, so I play thrash metal, I should say.
And also, you can hear his music also on YouTube as well.
Yep.
So, guys, let's touch on these albums. Both these albums were released in 1983. Master of
86.
Puppets
86.
86. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. 1986. Thank
That
you.
was Kill 'Em All. Okay.
And Master of Puppets was the first one to be released in March of 86. Megadeth was released in September of 86. And September of 86 was a very tough time for Metallica. That is when they had the accident in Europe and it killed their fantastic and fantastic, very talented bass player, Cliff Burton, and they had to cut that short. When they came back to America, Megadeth was getting ready to release their second album. This is Metallica's third album, and I try to get albums that are in the same realm and also released very close. So this is a very special time because they were only released 6 months apart. So we know how we do this. We go track by track, and these two albums both have 8 tracks each. So that won't be hard. There's no special tracks or bonus tracks or anything like that. It's 8 against 8. So that sounds great. We'll keep the order the way it is. We'll go Mark and Jerry, Al, and then Metal Ben, and then I will vote. We'll go track by track. Are y'all ready, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Track 1, Wake Up Dead against Battery.
Battery.
Mark, Battery. Okay, and why is that, Mark?
Battery's fucking thrash. I love Wake Up Dead, though. I love Wake Up Dead, but Battery's a masterpiece, man. I can't go against Metallica on that one, man. Spoiler alert, I'm not going to tell you. Oh, I'm leading to this, but it might be a freaking total. It might be cool. I take Battery.
Let's see how that goes. Jerry, what's going to be your pick on this? Wake Up
You know-
Dead or Battery?
Like I said, this could have been a draw, man, in my opinion. Just because I pick one doesn't mean the other one is bad, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going with Wake Up Dead, man. I think it's one of the best album openers of all time, in my opinion, dude. They're on fire then. Him and Chris Poland were a great guitar duo, man. Love that song. I love Battery too, man. But, tomorrow Battery might be better in my opinion, but today it's Wake Up Dead. So I'm picking that
Should
one.
always be better. Just joking. Go ahead.
Al, which way are you going to go on this?
Well, you guys know that when I do these battles, I don't prepare or anything. I just go into it and do it spontaneously. I don't, I just go off the gut feeling. And they're both awesome tracks. I mean, both these albums are pivotal thrash albums. '86 was a pretty pivotal year in thrash metal. I got to go Battery though, because that acoustic opening, it's almost like they're signaling, wait until you hear what we got in store for you. It's almost like a Western, like they're getting ready to duel with somebody, and that acoustic intro is like in the background, and they're just about to unleash a fucking barrage of bullets, man. And they do, I think Battery is the winner on this one. Wake Up Dead's a great song though. They come right out of the gate on that one, opening the album. But this one has that just kind of that build up, man. Like if you're watching like an Eastwood Western, man, it's like getting ready to duel with like somebody, Yep. And I don't know, man. Then when it just kicks in, it's like, don't fuck with us. And so,
yeah, it's like you're gonna get hurt listening to this.
Yeah, I got to go with Metallica on this one.
Hey, I don't argue that pick at all. So
I don't argue it either, because I did.
Somebody's gonna get battered in this Battery, is what they're telling you.
And Andy, now that I did my pick, I'm gonna get out and come back in because I'm hearing popcorn.
You got it, man. Al always brings popcorn to the party.
Yeah, baby.
All right, Metal Ben. What's going to be your pick? Wake Up Dead versus Battery.
Oh man, these are both excellent openers to albums. But I
don't
gotta
let me
go
down,
with Battery.
man. Don't let me down.
I gotta go with Battery, man. I just think Battery has more of a drive. It just makes you want to start banging your head once those rips kick in.
Nothing wrong with
But they're both great. But they're both kick-ass songs. But I got to pick Battery.
Yeah, on this, all week long I was going to stay with Wake Up Dead, because Wake Up Dead's a fantastic song, and the guitar parts are so intricate already with the first track. The guitars was already going nuts, but man, you see, because I didn't listen that much to Master of Puppets when I was doing this. I started just listening to Megadeth. And then I hit on Master of Puppets because I'm more rehearsed with Master of Puppets. So I hit it on Monday. I was like, oh my God, how can I go against Battery? There's no way. There was no way. So my pick is also Battery on this one. It's got to be. It's too classic. It's too good to not pick it. Even though Wake Up Dead is a very good song, and I really like it. But, Jerry, you're the lone wolf on that one, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Picked Battery. I didn't hear it.
Yeah, so Battery 4-1. Next track 2, The Conjuring, against the title track to the Metallica album Master of Puppets. Mark, which way are you going here?
What is it? Conjuring and what?
Master of Puppets.
Master of Puppets, dude. I never liked The Conjuring, even though it's like evil or whatever, demonic and shit. That's what metal is, Iron Maiden, whatever. I just never cared for that song. Master of Puppets is like, Master of Puppets, I'm pulling your strings. The lyrics are just, fuck yeah. Fucking Master of Puppets all the way.
And then it slows down there after the
yes,
and then just comes back.
It's brutalizing, man. Like, brutalizing.
Is it ever gonna? Never mind. Jerry, which way are you gonna go? The Conjuring or Master of Puppets?
Two great freaking classic songs, man. This was probably the hardest one for me, but I took Master of Puppets, man. I love The Conjuring. I think it's a great song, but you're right, Master is just. That's just Metallica's freaking. I think it's probably the most Metallica song. So, I had to take Master of Puppets.
I'll talk about that later. All right, Metal Ben, which way are you gonna hit up? Are you gonna go with Megadeth or Metallica on this one?
Well, this one's pretty easy for me. Obviously, Master of Puppets. I like The Conjuring, don't get me wrong, but come on, Master of Puppets, it's freaking iconic. And I like the intricate middle section in it, where you get the melodic part and the harmony guitars, it's just really good stuff. And it's Master of Puppets. I mean, you just can't really top that song, in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on
Yeah,
that
me
as
too.
well. The Master of Puppets is just, it's too overwhelming. It's just too good. It's in our blood, for crying out loud. Ever since we were, young teens, it's been in our soul and blood. Al, which way are you gonna go, man?
Well, I got to go Master as well. Again, both great songs. I mean, both these albums are fucking great, but Master is just so, the title track is just so iconic. The way it's like structured, and it goes into the soft kind of almost Thin Lizzy-ish part, moody kind of a mood.
Mhm.
The Conjuring is a great song too. The one thing about the Megadeth album versus the Peace Cells versus Master, Megadeth was still in full on like speed metal, like full throttle kind of like, mode. Whereas by the third album, Metallica was already, I mean, even by the second album, Metallica was already doing a lot of light and shade in their music, like kind of slowing down and doing like these different moods and stuff. Complete like different than Kill 'Em All was like, which was some pretty full throttle thrash album. So they're already like showing a lot of maturity. Like I said, I'm not to say that Megadeth wasn't. Between the first Megadeth album and this one was leaps and bounds as well. But production wise and playing wise, and Gar Samuelson and Chris Poland, man, they're unbelievable. I kind of wish this lineup would have lasted longer, actually, but it only lasted these 2 hours. I would have liked to have seen like the full potential, like of them continuing. But again, going back to the songs, Master Puppet is just iconic, man. I can't go against that one. So it's Master for me.
Yeah, this is gonna be a clean sweep too. And it's so hard for a Megadeth going against this Metallica album, because this Metallica album is just so good, and but I'm gonna have to
It's
go with
probably the
Master
number
Puppets
one.
as well.
I mean, it's probably the number one thrash album. I mean, on polls, it's usually like number one, on everything, and this album. So, it's tough to go against this one, man.
Yeah, I know, but they should release something different in '86 then.
I wonder what Bushy would say. I wonder if he would go Megadeth or Metallica on this one. I think they did have a show on the Plug where they did go over these albums.
Uh-huh.
I think he picked Megadeth. I'm not sure, but Bushy, like, comment on Andy's thing. I want to remember what you said. I don't. But
Yeah, he might pop in there. Sometimes he does.
yeah.
Sometimes he pops into the show. Track number 3.
Yeah.
Track number 3, we're going with Peace Cells versus The Thing That Should Never Be.
Should not be.
Should not be, I'm sorry.
Okay, I do love The Thing That Should Not Be. But Peace Cells is just so fucking sarcastic as fuck. What do you mean I don't believe in God? I talk to him every day. What do you mean I don't? Something I go to court when I have to. It's a fucking great fucking song. I have to go with fucking Peace Cells over freaking The Thing That Should Not Be. It's like a droning. It just slowly builds up. But that fucking Peace Cells is just fucking the fucking the lyrics of that song make it for me. I just love the humor in that song. I fucking love Peace Cells. I go with that one.
Good one. I also like the line when it says, "What do you mean I'm not kind? Just not
Just
your
not your
kind."
kind.
Yeah,
I
nice.
love that, man.
Nice. Jerry, which way are you going to go? Peace Cells?
Well, just like Master of Puppets is
Or-
Metallica's, probably great. I mean, Metallica song. This one I think is the most iconic song of Megadeth. I mean, Junior's bass line in the opening, man, it was all over freaking MTV.
It was
I
MTV
mean, it's
News.
a fucking classic tune, man. Great lyrics, fucking great riffs. I mean, just an incredible tune. I like The Thing That Should Not Be. You compare that with a couple other songs in here, it might beat them, but there's no way this song beats that song beats Peace Cells. Sorry, got to go with Peace Cells.
All right, Jerry. That's 2 for Peace Cells. Which way are you going to go on this one, Metal Ben?
Well, gotta agree with both Mark and Jerry here, man. Peace sells all the way. It's the better song. It's the more iconic song. Like you guys said, it's got that iconic bass intro. The lyrics are sarcastic, which is really cool, and the song's very catchy too. Like, you know, it's kind of a predecessor to what you would hear on albums like Countdown to Extinction going forward. You know, when you really listen to it. So, yeah, my pick would definitely be Peace Sells.
Yeah, this track is easily one of their most easily accessible tracks that people were able to relate to. Which way are you going to go, Al? Are you going to go against the grain, or you're going to join everybody?
Nah, man. I agree with what everybody said. I mean, this is the iconic. The way Master of Puppets was the iconic, like Jerry said, the iconic song on Master on the last battle. This one is like you got to reverse it and go Peace Sells. It's just like you guys said. It's the memorable bass line opening. I mean, that's kind of ingrained in probably everybody's head that grew up in the MTV era. You know, and this band, you know, out of the thrash bands, well, except for Anthrax, they had videos before this. I mean, Metallica and Slayer didn't have any videos yet at this time. You know, and Megadeth had a video for this song. I think they had a video for Wake Up Dead too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, this video was all over like Headbangers Ball and stuff. I remember them like on the cages and shit like that, you know. And the kid was like, you know, the kid in the video, the father was like, I want to watch the news, and the kid's like, this is the news, you know. And speaking about the lyrics, lyrically, you know, Dave was at his best here, man. Like one of his best. So, yeah, I'm going Peace Sells on this one, man.
Yeah, I think it should be a clean sweep the other way around for Megadeth. I love this track, Peace Sells. I mean, lyrically, musically, and even though it's almost just, well, it's really just two verses, but the end, it's just drudgery and drudgery until it ends. Peace Sells, man. I'm going to go with that one too. In fact, that's one of my favorite Megadeth songs.
That's not to take away from the thing that should not be. That song's got a great groove to it.
Fucking great
I love
song.
that song too, you know. But I got to give the edge to Peace on this one.
Yeah, that Peace Sells, and the thing that should not be, it's a moody track. You know what I mean? It's the way the music goes and the lyrics. It's kind of a moody song, but it fits perfect.
It is that slow build-up. It's like dun 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 dun. You know, it's like fucking cool. Yeah,
and it fits perfect. But you know, I got to give it to Peace Sells. Well, we all do.
Yeah,
we all did. Track number 4, the end of side 1, Devil's Island against Welcome Home Sanitarium.
Welcome Home Sanitarium easily. My God, it's Sanitarium. Dun, 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 dun. Leave me be. Fuck yeah. Fuck, that song just fucking shits over Devil's Island to me. Oh my God, how could you even compare Devil's Island to fucking Sanitarium? Welcome Home Sanitarium.
I wouldn't say shits over it, but
it shits on it, dude. I would skip that song and go to fucking Sanitarium a million times over, dude.
The fuck you smoking out there, dude?
Smoking some good shit. That's what. And I'm drinking some whiskey, bitch.
All right.
But, yeah. What did fucking Charles call me? Slut dog.
Slut dog. That's what he greeted you with, was slut dog.
I don't remember. I was fucked up on that video. But yeah, that's it, man. Sanitarium. It just puts a thing in your mind. You're seeing welcome to where time stands still. No one leaves and no one will. It just puts like a fucking movie in your head.
It really does. The writing.
It does. It's like you're thinking of like Jack Nicholson and fucking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, man. Fucking great song. I love it.
Yeah. And you know, these so-called doctors telling you,
yeah,
you're
exactly.
never better, you're insane.
Yeah.
You know, and violent use brings violent plans.
So much imagery in that song compared to Devil's Island. Devil's Island is like, I don't like to say this word, retarded compared to to fucking,
but
you know.
You said it anyway.
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
No, it's all right. Jerry.
Sue me.
Jerry, which way are you going to go since
I
Welcome Home
freaking
doesn't shit
love
on
Devil's Island, dude. I don't think the song shits all over Devil's Island, but
It does.
I remember picking up that guitar magazine, fucking tablatures of that song, fucking learning it. Sanitarium, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Fucking love that song, man. I mean, it's probably my favorite song off that album. So there's just
Wow.
it beats it, but not by much. I love Devil's Island, man. Great tune. But yeah, I got to go with Sanitarium on this one.
All right. Metal Ben, which way are you going to go? Devil's Island or Welcome Home?
Okay, so I'm going with Sanitarium.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you guys said, man, it paints a freaking image in your head, like a movie image in your head, you know. But musically, it's just better than Devil's Island to me. Now, nothing against Devil's Island. It's a great song, but I like Sanitarium a lot better, man.
Yeah, that Sanitarium song. And it was almost immediate. The first couple of times we heard that song, we already visioned everything in that track.
Those
You know,
fucking
the first time-
riffs when he's going Sanitarium and it fucking going with him saying,
Oh, Sanitarium.
God, dude, it's like, man, you just want to go, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Love this song.
That
That
was
one
so
speeds
true.
It's a very
that one
guitar
speeds
friendly
up the
riff.
blues.
Al, which way are you going to go on this one?
Well, the thing that the differences between like the Metallica tracks on this album and the Megadeth tracks is there's a more epic length and a more epicness to the Metallica tracks. The tracks are a lot longer. It's a longer album actually. I mean, I don't think there's only one Megadeth song on the album that goes over 6 minutes, but and like, you know, most of these songs on the Metallica album are over 6 minutes, 7, 8 minutes, you know.
Yeah, they live in that area.
Yeah, and you could tell they were really going in a kind of a more progressive kind of way, you know. And but I got to go Sanitarium on this one because the mood of it, the lyrics, I think it's just a better song than Devil's Island. Devil's Island, I thought, again, I don't dislike any song on Peace Sells. I like them all. I remember when I was a kid and I had both these albums on cassette in my car, and I played the shit out of both of them. But even back then, like I leaned more on the Metallica side. I was a little more, you know, on their side with Master of Puppets versus Peace Sells. I think I wore out Master of Puppets way before I wore out Peace Sells. So that's just a testament of how much I played the album, the tape in my car. So anyway, I'm going with Sanitarium on this one.
Yeah, it's going to be another clean sweep. Welcome Home, Sanitarium, as well. You know,
Yeah.
it's just when I was looking at these albums, and when I was, well, I'll talk about that later. Well, I'll get to that later. Why I put these albums together, but I already did, and then we'll talk about it, about the outcome in a little bit. The next track, "Good Morning Black Friday" versus "Disposable Heroes."
Again, Disposable Hero shits all over Good Morning Black Friday. Hey, God, is this even a battle? Fucking Charles Trader is going, right on, Mark.
Yeah,
Well, fuck, Disposable Heroes, dude. He's talking about how fucking back to the front. You will do what I say. Back to the front. You know, it's like, my God, you're looking like imagery in your head of fucking
Again.
mortars and fucking grenades going off and fucking people just going out there and fighting a useless war with the freaking Megadeth song's cool. I like it, but
Yeah.
there's no way it beats fucking Disposable Heroes.
I agree. Jerry, which way are you going to go on this one? Disposable
You're-
Heroes or
100% wrong, Mark. I love Disposable Heroes, don't get me wrong. But Good Morning Black Friday is probably one of my favorite Megadeth songs in general. Love the fucking guitar play. I love the structure of the tune. Hey, I love Disposable Heroes, man, but I love Good Morning Black Friday, man. I got to go with Megadeth on that one.
Enjoy.
nice. Finally, so a little bit of love going to Megadeth. Which way are you going to go with this one, Ben?
All right. So I do love both of these tracks. But Disposable Hero is my all-time favorite Metallica track, so I'm going with Disposable Hero.
Oh, it's your favorite
Oh,
track.
man. Dude, it's just such an
There's-
epic track, man.
There's no wrong picks, man, in my opinion.
No.
Right. It's just so epic. And yeah, when I listen to Disposable Hero, I kind of think of that movie Platoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I kind of get that the images of that movie in
Mhm.
my head. It's just an
Tom
awesome
Berenger
track.
was a dick in that movie, man.
Totally.
And then, like after that,
Cheers
he
to that.
made Major League, and he was like a lovable character on Major
I
League.
love Tom Berenger in a lot
Yeah.
of movies, man.
Yeah, me too. He's a good actor. Better than
Him
Tom
and Brian
Cruise.
Dennehy, man, were like the '80s like B actors. Damn.
B actors, okay.
Well, I'm just saying they were in so many movies, but they're not as known.
Yeah, the
Right, but
FX,
there were, like,
the FX
characters.
movies were awesome, but Brian
Like
Dennehy,
freaking Rambo, Brian Dennehy was the dick cop. He was in
Yeah.
the FX. He was in all these movies. Same thing with Tom Berenger. He was in all these like an Eddie and the Cruisers. This, but the thing is, nobody talks about it.
Yeah, and then he did
Substitute.
Major League and
Substitute, yeah.
Substitute. Yeah, yeah, that's when he played that ex-marine, right?
Yeah.
Clayton House at the school. Yeah, Tom Berenger. Al, which way are you going to go right now? It's 2-1, Disposable Heroes or Good Morning Black Friday.
Man, this is a tough one for me, man, because I love them both. But honestly, man, if I had to choose one, I gotta go Disposable Heroes. That's probably one of my favorite songs on Master of Puppets as well. I love the like Mark was saying, the imagery that you conjure up in your head. You know, listen to that song. You can actually like picture yourself on the battlefield,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff. And it's yeah. I mean, Hetfield, man, he painted like these great images in your head, like with his lyrics, man. And I mean, just blended so well with the music, you know, and the the riffing on this song, and it's just incredible. I used to love trying to learn this on guitar, man. It was a tough one, actually. This one, I don't know how Hetfield sings and plays at the same fucking time, though. That's just like, I mean, he plays some intricate riffs and he sings at the same time. It's crazy. I can't like process like trying to do that, you know. But I mean, it's all about like practice and repetition and doing it over and over. But I guess when you're the writer of the song too, you could fit the puzzles a little easier when you're the actual writer. So anyway,
Yeah.
Disposable Heroes is my pick on this one. It's such an epic track, and one of my favorites on the album. You know, I love the I love Good Morning Black Friday too. I love that song a lot. That's
It's a
almost
good
like one of my
song.
favorite- That's almost one of my favorites on the Megadeth album. That's like probably like second, you know, favorite on there. So yeah, I'm going Disposable Heroes.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Disposable Heroes as well. It's one of the best war songs ever made. I will put it up there with War Pigs, because War Pigs is another fantastic, you know, war track. But yeah, man, you can just, you know, and with Disposable Heroes, you think the song's over, and then another verse comes on, more and more riffing, it just stretches out and stretches out.
Just what I like to say, Dave Mustaine shits all over Metallica, but he wants to be back in Metallica, or he wants to tour with Metallica. But the thing is, I think Hetfield kills him at lyrics. That's just my opinion.
We'll touch on that when we do a
Okay.
recap at the end.
I didn't want to forget
Depends on
because
the
I
era.
drank.
Depends on the era you're talking about too.
Yeah.
Well, they both went through the same eras with Risk, so fucking load and reload or whatever. Yeah. So,
I don't
Yeah,
know, man.
but-
I'd like to do a Rust in Peace versus the Black Album battle.
oh, I would do that.
Yeah.
Totally.
We could do that coming up. That could be the next one. I don't have
Black
any
Album and what?
Rest in
Rust in
peace.
peace.
Okay.
I can do that. Yeah, we will put that on the hopper. Let's finish this one first, and then we'll talk about that one later on. The next track, Bad Omen against Leper Messiah. Mark.
Leper Messiah, man. I'm just going, oh dang, another imagery in your head is just painting pictures. That's why I'm saying Hatfield's lyrics to me, except for there's a lot of songs that Dave's lyrics do paint images in my head, but it's not on this album except for fucking Peace Sells. But everything else, it's like James is a storyteller. It reminds me of like Springsteen or something. He's telling a story, you know, even though he hasn't been through it like Springsteen has, but he's telling a story. But I think he was watching a lot of news about the war going on, wars in the world, and this album is kind of war themed, and so is Peace Sells. So it's kind of weird how they both went the same trajectory. But I go for Leper Messiah. Bow to Leper Messiah. I just love that fuck. I love James's voice better than Dave. So maybe I'm a little biased because I go a lot about my music about vocals.
Mhm.
And I always said Metallica has a better groove than Megadeth. And they have more of a groove for me than Megadeth. I do love Megadeth, but they are tier 2 to me compared to Metallica. As I'm wearing my fucking shirt I bought from the I have that shirt too. I almost wore that one, but I said might as well wear this one. This shirt is a sleep shirt now because I can't wear it in public. It's so faded and fucked up and holes in the armpits. I bought this on the Death Magnetic tour in the parking lot for $10. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so
I bought a couple of those parking lot shirts.
oh yeah, I got the
Oh,
last Iron Maiden one in the parking lot too. But yeah, I go with Leper Messiah.
All right, Mark, Leper Messiah. What about you, Jerry?
You know what? These are probably two of the weaker tracks off the album. I'm not saying they're weak. I'm just saying they're probably, you know.
I do agree with you on that, Jerry.
And even Bad Omen's a good song, but yeah, Leper Messiah rules, dude. I mean, over that song by a long shot. And I agree with a lot you said, Mark. I mean, James's lyrics are a lot better than Dave's, but I'd call them even as far as riffs, in my opinion. They both got great riffs, but I have to go with Leper Messiah. I just want to say, man, there are some great freaking albums that came out in '86. Like Rain and Blood, The Dark by Metal Church, freaking Game Over, Nuclear Assault, man. Doomsday for the Deceiver, Flotsam and Jetsam. I mean, what a great.
I like Flotsam. I just got into Flotsam.
I mean, there were some letdowns. There were some letdowns, like Maiden Somewhere in Time and Priest Turbo. But
what the fuck? Somewhere in Time rules, dude.
And then of course your favorite 5150, I think, came out that same year. But what a great year! What a great year for thrash metal.
Didn't Savage Amusement by Scorpions come out that? I like that album too.
But yeah, I mean, I think Leper Messiah was that.
Around the same time. Well, almost.
Let's see, because there was Savage Amusement after
88 was Savage Amusement.
Love it first thing.
But they had that great live album, that double live album.
Worldwide Live.
Worldwide Live rules.
Dude, that was so
I had that on Laserdisc.
No shit.
I had that on fucking Laserdisc. That was like, I had that on Laserdisc.
Cinderella's
stole them from me. I had to turn that shit over. I didn't have the one that played both sides at the same time.
Tesla's Mechanical Resonance, man. Great year for music.
I have the first Batman DVD with Michael Keaton. We had to turn it over. I wonder if that's worth money.
You know what? It pisses me off when I go record shopping. I was like, oh, wow, what a soundtrack. Oh, it's a Laserdisc. It's like, fuck, what's this?
Dude, Laserdisc rule. I would buy a Laserdisc player.
I don't have a Laserdisc player.
They were cool.
Dude, it was before DVDs. I was like always on top of digital media back then. I was like, as soon as fucking CDs came out, fuck these cassettes. I sold them all. Got all DVDs. As soon as fucking DVDs came out, I sold all my VHS. And all those fucking VHS are worth more than I sold them for. Fuck me. Fucking what? An original copy of fucking Rocky went for $15K. VHS unopened.
Wow,
damn.
Metal Ben, what's your pick on Bad Omen against Leper Messiah?
I'll be right back. I want to hear his pick.
Alrighty. Well, yeah. I guess these two would be the weaker tracks on the album, which I honestly think Leper Messiah is underrated. So I'm definitely picking Leper Messiah. Just an awesome track, I think. And nothing against Bad Omen. It's still a good track, too. But, man, yeah, like you guys said, or Mark said it, I think, that James definitely paints pictures with his lyrics, as opposed to what Dave Mustaine does lyrically. So that's why I'm picking Leopard Messiah, too, because to me, James is definitely a better storyteller and, to an extent, a better riff writer, too, than Dave Mustaine. So, yeah, I'm going with Leopard Messiah.
Yep.
Just a killer track.
It's just man. Master of Puppets. I mean, there's so many. I mean, there's the majority of albums released are going to have a hard time beating Master of Puppets. Period.
That's very true.
I know
That
there's
is
2 more
very
songs
true.
left, man.
Yeah, there are 2 more tracks left, but we're not through yet. Al, which way are you going to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Leopard Messiah as well.
With Bad Omen?
You know, yeah, you guys are on about like how James he paints more of a picture with his lyrics. To me, that's true. To me, Dave's lyrics are more. He spits more venom with like his lyrics in a way. It's more just like in your face and like spitting venom at you. Whereas like like you said, like James like paints more of a picture, a story that you can picture in your head. So that's the differences between those 2 guys. They're just different flavors. I mean, you can have a preference one over the other. I mean, I do preference James more than Dave on certain things, but I mean, it all depends on the album and the era that we're talking about too. There's certain Megadeth albums I think are way better than Metallica albums if we're gonna go through them all, you know what I mean? But on this one, man, I gotta go Leopard Messiah because it's the superior track for me, And even if it's the weaker track on the album, like Metal Ben said, man, it's an underrated track. I also agree with him on that. I think I just love the groove of the song, man. The way, and even like in the beginning, man, like. You hear Loris count it in, man. It's just kind of cool. It gives it like a live feeling in the studio. Like they're all like in the studio together, facing each other, and they're just like fucking grooving off each other. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's the Leopard Messiah, man. Great song as well.
Yep. It's going to be a clean sweep. I'm going to go with the Leopard Messiah. I know that I have picked mainly all Metallica songs, but the Megadeth album is just as good. I mean, they got great, solid songs too. It's just that they went up against pretty much epic classics from top to bottom, and that's hard to beat. Because I'm going to go with Leopard Messiah as well. The next track, the second to last track, Megadeth serves up a cover. I Ain't Superstitious, which was made famous by Jeff Beck and Rod Stewart, and going up against a instrumental of Orion. So we're going to pit a cover against a instrumental. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, that instrumental fucking shit's all over fucking the fucking cover song. I got that as Cliff at his best. Fucking like, again, what was the first one? Anesthesia Pulling Teeth. It's like Cliff is all over Orion. What was that? Do you guys remember that HBO movie where they used Master of Puppets as a whole soundtrack about the murders?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, I'll look it up while you guys are fucking talking. But I'm going with Orion. Orion's just a masterpiece to me. It's like, it comes on. You do not skip that fucking song. I will skip the Megadeth one. So, Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry, what's your pick? So was this made by HBO movie?
I'm looking it up right now, I'll tell you.
All right. Jerry, which way are you going to go? I Ain't Superstitious or Orion?
Come on, man. This is probably the easiest one on the whole freaking album, dude. Orion is one of the best instrumentals ever written, in my opinion, dude. I mean, that song is still fucking, fresh today as it was
Very
back then, in
fresh.
my opinion, dude. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't care for their cover of that song at all, Megadeth. So I think it was written by was it Willie Dixon originally wrote that
Willie
song?
Dixon. Yeah.
But yeah,
Willie Dixon.
I think Dave changed the lyrics up a little bit, but yeah, Orion. I mean, hands down, there's not even debate on this one. So
Yeah.
All right, Andy.
Yeah.
It's called Paradise Lost: The Child Murders at Robin Hills. It's a 1996 American documentary, directed and produced by Joe Billinger and Bruce Sabowski, about the trials of the West Memphis Three teenage youths accused of May 1993 murders and sexual molestation of 3 pre-pubescent boys as part of an alleged satanic ritual in West Memphis, Arkansas. Yeah, and they used Master Puppets as the whole soundtrack for that. It was HBO. It's distributed by them. Music by Metallica. It was the whole master. There was a scene in the forest where they were using Orion, where they're looking for the bodies.
No
Really fucking cool, man.
I think those are the
I
guys.
think they were
I
found
think
not
those are-
guilty.
I think those are the guys that filmed Some Kind of Monster.
Maybe, yeah.
Really? Huh.
that would make sense.
That's a cool documentary if you guys could ever check it out. I saw it years ago, but it still sticks. It sticks in my mind, not because of what's happened, because the music fit it perfectly.
Yeah. Wow. I wonder. Wow. And for Metallica to give their approval for that whole album to be played
Yeah.
for that, well. Which way are you gonna go, Metal Ben? Are you gonna go? I ain't superstitious or Orion?
Oh yeah, I'm going with I ain't superstitious, man. No, definitely Orion. But come on, I mean that's no contest there. I mean, yeah, I ain't superstitious. That's definitely my least favorite on Peace Sells.
Yeah.
And Orion's just a freaking masterpiece. I mean, Cliff was on fire when he wrote that. Holy cripe! Those freaking bass harmonies, everything about that track is just so epic.
Now I am going to say a couple of things because we already know who the clear-cut winner is. I wonder if the guys knew that they were making a all-time classic album. Like, I wonder how they felt when they were recording this album because everything was clicking.
Artists usually don't. If
No.
you really, a majority of them are always like, no, we didn't. We were just recording an album, and that's the majority of the artists I've ever heard in interviews when asked that question. I mean, unless you're Oasis and you're Noel Gallagher, yeah, we're making a fucking masterpiece. Everything's a masterpiece.
Charles, fuck Oasis. Okay, go ahead.
I agree.
All right, I'm sorry. What's your pick for I Ain't Superstitious and
As
versus
soon as I saw
Orion?
the titles of the 2 songs, I mean, it's not even a goddamn debate, man. It's Orion. That's Cliff's shining moment. I mean, Cliff shines all over the 3 albums, but this is like his epic statement, man. Like you could see why, like when he passed away, these guys went into kind of a tailspin. Like they lost their leader, man. They lost the guy that they looked up to. I know the majority of songs is Hetfield and Ulrich, the writers, but Cliff's presence there, he was the guy that they looked up to. He was the guy with the musical knowledge, and he taught them, harmonies and all sorts of like, these light and shade, acoustic, putting acoustic against hard, guitars for contrast. You know what I mean? I mean, he's the guy, and when they lost him, it's the heart was lost in that band, man. Not to say they didn't do good stuff after, but whenever everybody talks about Metallica, it's the first 3 albums are the most iconic, albums. Obviously, they changed the game with those albums, and this song is just fucking. When you put it on, like Mark said, I don't skip 1 second of this song, man. You listen to it from beginning to end, and sometimes I start it over again. I listen to it again. Go on YouTube and pull up the isolated Cliff tracks on his bass track, and you'll hear the testament of his his genius. So, so Orion, man. I mean, that's one of the greatest instrumentals of all time out of any band, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just remember, Metallica moved from Los Angeles to San Francisco because Cliff said he wasn't going to Los Angeles. So,
And they wanted him bad, man.
yeah.
They wanted him bad.
Oh.
They did a good move on their part.
Yep.
Last
Go ahead,
track,
Andy.
guys. Oh yeah, I went with Orion. The last track.
Of course you did.
The last track, guys. My last words against Damage.
Freaking Damage Incorporated, man. What a fucking blistering song to end a fucking album. It's like, I think that is Metal Mike from the Plugs podcast favorite song on there, and I agree that that has to be my favorite song. It's like Damage Incorporated. Dum, 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 dum. It's just like Damage Incorporated. It's like fucking A. And the other song, dude, I did listen to both albums, even though I knew Master Puppets would kill.
Yeah.
Like Al said, he doesn't listen to them before. I did, I didn't even take notes because I know Metallica will destroy this album.
I did listen to the album. I didn't sit there with track by track and write it down. I
didn't write it down either. I just listened to them and go, this one in my head.
I just gave it a cursory listen just to refresh my memory. Even
That
though
is the first.
I don't even
That's
need
the
to
first
listen to
time I've
Master
done that
Puppets,
other than
it's
a
all
Rush
ringing in
album.
my head. What?
I'm just saying that's the first time I didn't take notes besides a Rush album, because Rush albums I don't take notes. But this album, these two albums, I didn't take notes because I know them like the back of my hand. And I just listened just to give me a refresh. And it was just Peace Sells Who's Dying is the only track that won for me. But fuck, Master of Puppets is just it's just a masterpiece. I don't know. I think Megadeth's masterpiece is Peace Sells. No, it's Rust in Peace. Like you said, you want to do a Rust in Peace battle. That'll be freaking pretty cool. So
Yeah, I think there'll be more of a variety of picking songs, a little bit more back and forth. But Jerry, which way are you going to finish?
You know, Peace Sells is probably my favorite Megadeth album. Master of Puppets is probably my third favorite Metallica album. But yet, Master of Puppets, is so much better than Peace Sells, in my opinion. I want Damage Incorporated by a long shot, dude. I mean, fucking another great tune off that album. Great album ender. You got to go with that one.
Metal Ben, which way are you going to go on this one?
All right, well, it's weird because my last words is probably my favorite track off of Peace Sells. I really like that track, but you're going up against Damage Inc. though, and it's like, well, Damage Inc. is definitely the better track. I mean, it's just a good way to end it. It's a good way to end a masterpiece of an album. Just thrashing, headbanging, Yes. So yeah, I'm picking Damage Incorporated. Just an excellent thrashing tune, and just awesome stuff. And it's one of the best endings to an album too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's 6 minutes of just straight thrash without a break, without a slowdown. They just go balls out on that track.
Yep.
And it's tough to say when so many of the other songs are just as balls out. They do it and they end it with the ultimate thrashy from beginning to end track. Al, which way are you going to go on this one?
Well, just the way that Metallica had an epic opening statement, their closing statement, slamming through the fucking Razorback, man. You know what I mean? Damage Incorporated, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not pick that one? I mean, it just when they go through an epic instrumental, they just slam your head against the wall with this track, man. And it's just an epic grand finale to me. It's like, it's like you're running a marathon, and then you're running a marathon at a pace, but then like the last mile, you fucking all out sprint, man. You know what I mean? And this is the sprint to win the race. So, yeah, Damage Incorporated, man.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Damage Incorporated as well. The final tally was 7-1.
Damn.
I mean, 7-1. Jerry picked 3 tracks on the Peak Cells. All of us just chose 1 on that album. And I just want to touch on a couple of things about these albums after we're done. Please, anyone, go ahead and interrupt.
I just want to know why
you
they
want.
didn't use that producer for the first 3 albums for Injustice for All. That's the thing that always goes through my head. Maybe
What are you
Jason
talking
would have
about?
had some bass, but that's all I'm going to say.
Fleming Rasmussen was on Injustice.
Yeah, he's on there.
Not
He
much.
He didn't produce Kill 'Em All though.
No.
No.
But I do believe that Megadeth will get their revenge in the 90s, because really Metallica only released 3 albums in the 90s. How many albums did Megadeth release in the 90s? They were solid too, like 6 or 7.
I love
Like
Euthanasia. I don't like Risk.
Cryptic Writings.
Richard Writings was okay.
Rust in
Al,
Peace
you said
and
they released
Rust in
6
Peace
albums?
and Countdown to Extinction is the best ones from them, out of in the 90s,
Yeah,
you know.
but those
But
2 albums were
Countdown,
better than.
Countdown to Extinction was kind of their answer to the Black Album. I mean, they went a more concise commercial. You could tell Dave was like kind of, he wanted to follow like the success, that Metallica had with the Black Album. I think Rust in Peace though I think that's a masterpiece, man. Just it's this album and Rust in Peace is like Megadeth's greatest, in my opinion.
Mhm.
I do love So Far So Good So What though. It would be interesting to put that up against like Injustice too. You know what I mean? They both came out in '88.
Yeah.
I mean, Justice will probably get the edge on that one too. But anyway, it's just for future album battles. It's kind of
Oh yeah,
kinda cool.
oh yeah. I got a whole bunch of them written down. But I wanted to say, when it came down to Countdown to Extinction, I'm pretty sure Dave saw the success of the Black Album. I mean, man, they toured for 2 years after that. Had
Yeah.
about 4 or 5 videos on MTV. I mean, they crossed over big time. I mean, big time to the pop rock world when it came to that. And it's hard to let go of that once you taste that kind of success, that kind of money,
Dave. Mustaine. He should not be ashamed of like any. I mean, there were a lot of bands that would kill to have Megadeth success. You know what I mean? Metallica's just on a whole other level. I mean, they just for some reason there's always that one band, that comes along in a time that just connects with a mass of people. And Metallica is definitely one of those bands. But I mean, Dave should not be. He should not be ashamed of what he did with Megadeth, man. Because I mean, a lot of bands would kill to have the success that he had. I mean, the guys had platinum albums too, and toured the world and played with world-class musicians. I mean, it's there's nothing to be ashamed of. And I think this whole he's just he puts his foot in his mouth a lot of times. So I mean, that's the problem. But when he does that, I mean, everybody latches onto the one thing he says or whatever, and it's just clickbait and it's the headline and whatever. I honestly, I don't think he'd want. Why would he want to be in Metallica, man? He's not going to have any power in that band. Between Hetfield and Ulrich, he would never gain any power back. It's just a different time era, man. Now, I know he mentioned something about writing with James Hetfield. Maybe the two collaborating on some. Now that would be interesting. Like if they collaborate on some as a whole, like different project. But again, I don't know, man. Dave's ego would probably just kill that whole thing. So. But it would be interesting to hear what they would come up with, and
Yeah, but then that's why there's been so many people coming in and out of Megadeth, because I mean Dave rules it and he runs it. What he says goes. And when he gets to Metallica, well, all that power that he had, he ain't gonna have that no more.
Yeah, he's gonna have it between
you play
James
this,
and
you play like
Lars.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
if he expected to go back I mean, everybody's dreaming, man. If they think fucking Mustaine would ever be back in Metallica,
That's like Roger Waters coming back. It's like Roger Waters coming back to Pink Floyd. Ain't gonna
It's
happen.
never gonna happen in a million
No, it's
years,
never
dude.
gonna happen.
So
Nope.
Yeah, those days are over. And I don't know why people just don't accept that they're over and be happy with the Megadeth album. With their last album that came out was fantastic, and now we're about to get a Metallica album coming out here in the next 2 months. So we'll see how that comes out. You know,
I'm
know
still
what?
saying
Let me say-
Dystopia is better than the new album. Just saying.
Dystopia. Yeah, Dystopia. I like Dystopia better than the Megadeth's latest one. Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that. I think that was a
I
great,
guess I'm just
great
Yeah,
album.
I would agree. Dystopia is definitely better.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just so I'm still spinning that new one quite a bit. I guess I'm still at that high that I'm just loving it right now. But Metal Ben, anything you want to add about these two bands and about where they've been and where they're going and where they're at?
Well, I mean, these are easily the two biggest thrash metal bands in history. I mean, and there's never going to be a band that's going to be bigger than these two bands. Pertainingly Metallica, there's never going to be a metal band bigger than Metallica again, I don't think. I mean, so yeah, I mean, they both led their mark on history, you know. They've put out amazing music over the years. I do think in the 90s, Megadeth put out the better albums. It stayed more. I mean, they stayed more heavy metal compared to what Metallica did. Well, except for Risk, obviously, but yeah, I do think albums like Euthanasia are pretty underrated. Even Cryptic Writings had some okay tracks on it. So yeah, I do think 90s Megadeth is definitely better than 90s Metallica. But then again, like you guys said, there was more Megadeth in the 90s than there was in Metallica, you know. But I don't think I have too much more to say besides that. But I think in recent years, Megadeth even, yeah, I would say Megadeth has probably put out better material in recent years than Metallica. I mean, that's debatable too, because there's been some bad Megadeth albums too, like Super Collider. You know?
That was a bad one.
Yep. But then there's been great ones too,
I like
Dystopia
13.
and Endgame. 13's pretty good.
It seems like Megadeth will put out a really good album and then they'll follow it up with a stinker and then they'll kind of realign themselves again and put out a good one. You know what I mean?
That's very true. I've noticed that. Yes.
Hey, Metal Ben, what do you think about Death Magnetic? I know some people like it, some people don't. I'm a big fan of Death Magnetic. I love that album. The only thing that I think about is that maybe they're trying a little bit too hard to get that thrash sound back. When you heard the previous 4 albums, and it just felt so natural to them. What do you think about it?
Are you muted?
Are you muted?
I don't know.
I can't hear you.
Middle.
I don't know. His audio's fucked up.
Metal Ben, your audio went out, buddy.
We can't hear you.
I think he knows.
Come in and come back. If you could hear us.
All right.
All right. Well, move on, Andy.
Yeah, sure. Of course, Jerry. What do you think about Death Magnetic? Are you a fan of it?
It's better than Saint Anger,
Yeah.
but they got back on track with Hardwired, and I'm hoping that I always said they got one more fucking classic album left, and I hope this one's it coming out. I like the songs I heard off it so far.
I'm not too fond of the second single that they released, though. I don't know, man. It hasn't really grabbed me that much.
I liked it.
But I like Lux
how
Eterno
lucky we are
a lot,
to have
but then
these,
But then this one, I don't know, man. I didn't spend a lot of time with it either, so I probably need to do that more. But I don't know. The album I think is coming out in April, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 more months, man.
And the thing is that the second track, I told myself I'll spend more time with it, so I'll put it on repeat for about 20 minutes over and over, and at one time did it grab my attention. It just doesn't. It just seems lazy to me.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping like it's not indicative of the rest of the album, but if you like it, that's cool, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
it's whatever,
Oh, yeah, of
man,
course.
you know. It's maybe one day like it'll click with me, and maybe in the context of the whole album, when I hear the whole album,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes the running order of the album kind of influence, like it enhances certain tracks, you know. And so I don't know, it might be. I'm looking forward to the album, though. You know, I mean, they take years to make albums, so.
Yeah. Okay, Metal Ben, the question for you was, what did you think about Death Magnetic?
Okay, can you guys hear me better now?
Yes.
All right, cool. Oh, Death Magnetic. I was trying to say, I did listen to it a lot back when it first came out. I actually really enjoy a lot of things on that album, especially the first 2 tracks on that album.
Mm-hmm.
That was Just Your Life and the End of the Line. I think those songs are awesome. Yeah, the production's definitely not great, but there is another I think there's another version on YouTube of that album. It's for
Guitar
the game
Hero,
Guitar.
the Guitar
Yeah.
Hero version.
It
Wasn't
sounds way
Brickwalled.
better.
Sounds much better, man. Much better dynamics. It's not like distorted and.
Yeah, which I never understood why they never put that version out, you know.
And
instead
then
of
Lars
putting
says it
that.
sounds great in my car. Fuck off, Lars. It does not.
No, don't. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
definitely
dude.
hear
great.
When you put that CD on, man, the regular, like the one you buy in the store, I don't know, just kind of you hear like a sizzling.
The
almost kinda like-
iTunes
yeah,
version
that's
is
what I
really
do.
good too. If you get the iTunes version, just buy the iTunes version, not the CD version. It's remastered for iTunes. It's a lot better too.
How's the vinyl version of it? Does
I heard
anyone
the
have
vinyl version is really good. I haven't got that though, but I don't know.
I've never heard the vinyl version.
Because
I
you know,
like the vinyl version.
on vinyl, you can't master, you can't like redline a vinyl like you can a CD. Like
Yeah.
like how they brick wall. I mean, it can still be brick wall, but vinyl you can only go so high before like the track starts skipping the whole like way a vinyl's produced. So you can't really redline it like the CD. So the dynamics are probably better on the vinyl, you know. So I have to get the vinyl and check it out. I can't right now. I'm living with my parents, so I can't. I can't. Everything in the store is my turntable, everything. So I can't listen to vinyl really. So kind of fucking. Maybe I'll just go and buy another turntable.
There you go.
So
Because I got both. I got the CD and the vinyl, and I've never played the CD before. I just pull out the vinyl.
The
and I
CD
hear it.
just
one
sounds
day-
like
one day, if you ever have time,
Yeah.
man, just do like an A/B, like kind of compare it. Let's see how it sounds.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I will. And I know that I might sound.
blame Rick Rubin for that, Mr. Brickwall. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
pretty much.
You see, that's what I wanted to ask you. I might sound dumb, but the way you learn is when you ask questions. So, what do you mean by brick wall?
They turn,
What-
you know how you have fidelity, you have different levels of different instruments.
Yeah.
They just take the bass, the guitars, the drums, and put it all up to 10 instead of like leveling them out. Where you could hear when you turn it up, it just sounds like you don't hear any freaking fidelity to it. It's just like it's just so high that everything distorts. I blame hip hop for this because they turned up their shit high, and then the meddlers go, "Well, I want my CD louder than that." It's called the loudness wars, which fucked up music for years. At least people are coming down now and getting fidelity back. You know, Rick Rubin did that shit. He was the worst guy of it.
Okay, because the
Alex-
higher you go, you lose the sound of different
Yes, because
instruments.
every instrument's turned up to 10. There's no
And it
levels.
sounds like just one piece.
yes.
Okay,
I'll
okay,
expl-
okay, I get it now.
I'll explain it a little more, Andy.
Sure.
It's like how like you're playing. Let's say you're playing an album. You got a loud part, then you got a quiet part. You know what I mean? Like let's just say you got a loud part, it goes into acoustic part. It kind of goes a little softer. In the mastering process, the mastering engineer, he'll take the soft parts, and he'll put the loud parts and soft parts almost equal each other. So there's like no dynamics in the music. Think of taking a basketball, right, and you go outside with it, and you're bouncing on the floor, and it goes up. It's got nothing to hit like when it goes up, right? It goes up into the sky, right?
Yeah.
Well, take the same basketball, go in your house, and bounce in your house as hard as you could. It's going to hit your ceiling,
Put the
right?
ceiling come back down.
Yeah. So that's kind of like the compression, the whole compression wars thing. They put a ceiling on these things, and they bring the ceiling down, and if you bring it up into like a music kind of a computer software like music editor, you'll see a big fucking block. A block is just solid, waves. But
It's like
like
you don't hear the bass and you don't hear the guitar separate. You hear them all together.
Yeah,
at
and
the
the
same
drum
level,
sound,
and you can't
and
tell the difference because it's just a blob, like you said. It's
yeah,
just a blob.
it's a blob of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, put on a great album that breathes like, just for example, put on Dark Side of the Moon.
I was thinking the same thing when you said that.
You listen to it on headphones, man, how everything breathes, and you can hear the space between the music and all that. Go and put on that magnetic after that. You'll see a fucking world of difference, night and day, man.
Yeah.
So,
I need to buy the iTunes version of that because I heard it's corrected on that.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Well,
that's
thank you
just
so
the
much for explaining that for me.
yeah. There's a good,
Yeah,
there's a good tutorial on that on YouTube. I'm gonna send you the link, Andy, and it uses like Beatles music or a Paul McCartney song or something as like a test. And this guy actually shows you the whole loudness wars compression thing, and you'll be amazed at like how it kills the sound of a song. So yeah.
Okay, great.
It's horrible, dude. I've been going on this for 10 years.
Yeah, because I hear you say it, and I was like, okay, brick all the wall, brick all, but I actually wanted to know exactly what you meant about that. Because
if you ever put music on your phone, and some albums are louder than others.
Yeah, because sometimes I go, ooh, I gotta turn that down a little bit, or I gotta turn that up a little bit because I can't hear it that well.
A lot of the band's ideas, like when this whole loudness war thing started, and it really, in a way, kind of started with Oasis. They're the ones that kind of started fucking putting everything up. Like what they wanted to do is when their song gets played on the radio, right? They want it to be, when it comes on after another song on the radio, they want it to be loud, and they want to capture the listener with like how, oh wow, dude, you hear in the beginning your ears kind of trick you, like wow, that sounds great, like it's loud and cool, but after a while your ears get accustomed to it, and like your ears actually start getting fatigued of how loud it is. You're not hearing any dynamics in the song.
Is that why I can't get through a whole Oasis album without stopping it and then going back later?
Stop. You have to stop.
I have to stop
break
because it starts irritating me.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. That makes sense.
But I don't understand why bands want to compress their music, because when it gets played on the radio compresses it anyway. So you're adding compression from the radio frequency onto the compression that's already on the thing, double fuck, even crushing it even more.
Yeah, even smaller.
Yeah, these bands like mentality was like, and it's the mastering engineers. They're the ones that were like doing it. It's really not the producer. It's the mastering engineers that did the damage to this shit. So
you don't hear Bob Ludwig CDs sound like that.
Yeah, but I think the loudness wars is kind of going away now. I think bands are getting back into having better sounding albums and things like that. It's not completely away because there's still a lot of shit that comes out that's like sounds like shit, but I'm into this stuff. I'm into like the whole fidelity thing, and me, I like surround sound music, all that kind of shit. I don't want to bore you guys with this stuff, but I love production side of things. So
I do too.
Great sounding albums are great sounding albums, man, and that's why Dark Side of the Moon and Zeppelin albums and all that stuff is like the benchmark of like what these bands, albums want to sound like, And
it's like Edwin Conestracci and the great Dr. Fuck said Jimmy Page is one of the best underrated producers of all time.
Yeah.
Do they let their music breathe and
Yeah.
and move around.
Anyway, that's my whole rant on that.
All right.
I've been
Thank you
ranting
very
on
much.
that for years on Facebook.
All right. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for another wonderful episode. I really did enjoy this. Once again, Metallica won 7-1. That was such a kick. But, you know, it's hard to go up against Master of Puppets. It is. So on the next one, we'll pick 2 albums by the same band that are going to be a little bit closer in competition, I believe. And Metal
Lulu
Bin-
versus Saint Anger.
That's not a Metallica album. It's a Lou Reed album. Come on.
I'm
You
just
know, I
joking,
was
man.
reading you and Charles talk about Saint Anger and Lulu, and I might have to
Risk
delve
versus
into
Saint
that.
Anger.
Rich
That'd be a
versus Saint
better.
Anger.
That'd be a better. But then I'd have to listen to Saint Anger. I could listen to Risk more than I can listen to Saint Anger. It's not as like hurting my ears as much
Yeah.
as Saint
Yeah,
Anger
that's
does.
pretty bad. So,
tin can sound for my drums.
My God, Oscar the Grouch would be proud.
Garbage can, yeah.
Anyway,
so
Metal
Metal
Band, man.
Bin,
It's nice meeting
you're
you.
more than welcome to.
Yeah, nice meeting
come
you
back
guys too.
on whenever we do Rest in Peace and the Black Album. You're more than welcome to come back on that one as well, if
I'll
you
come
would
back.
like to.
Yeah, totally.
Tomorrow we will be on Mark and Jerry's BS sessions with Charles. We are going to be making our own Led Zeppelin album, 11 tracks plus bonus tracks. So we will be on that tomorrow. So will Al, and then next.
Al's
week-
not going to be on there.
Oh.
Al is going to Winery Dogs.
Okay. All right.
Eric Arnsby Jordan's going to be. This album is fantastic, by the way. I
Oh,
love it.
that's right.
So Eric Arnsby Jordan will be on there. He is a newly formed Zeppelin fan, so that's going to be interesting. He's
Yeah,
been
'cause I
texting me
heard,
how good, how he likes Zeppelin now, and I go, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, he couldn't stand him when I first.
Yeah,
First met him.
Edwin's been teaching him. He's like, he's Edwin's Padawan.
Yeah, because I heard their review of Physical Graffiti.
Yeah, he
And,
was on my podcast on Freeform, on our podcast, Jerry.
Yeah.
Freeform doing Presents with Lee when Lee was there. But he basically, I think he liked that album. But he didn't like T for One, so fuck off, Eric. But,
Anyway.
All right. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. Next week, I don't have a show. I'll be going to the Houston Rodeo next Wednesday.
say hi to your wife for me.
Oh, yeah, I sure will. I'm going to go see Brooks and Dunn next week. I've never seen them, so I'm excited to go see them.
Enjoy.
I sure will. I sure will. So, thanks again, Metal Bin. Thank you for being here for the first time. I hope it's going to be the first of many. We really enjoyed having you on here and
Yeah,
telling
it's a
us
lot
your
of fun.
expertise.
We got to get you on a Freeform Rock podcast. Jerry's picking a lot of thrash lately.
Oh,
So,
yes. I'll come on for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally.
All right, guys. So I will talk to y'all later. I'll have a good time at Winery Dogs tomorrow.
Thank
Ben
you.
and Jerry. I'll see y'all. Ben and Jerry.
Ben
I
and
mean
Jerry.
Jerry and Mark
Some good ice cream.
tomorrow.
Some woke ice cream. Oh, sorry.
Metal Ben and Jerry's ice cream. That's fucking awesome.
Metal Ben Jerry's ice cream. There you go.
Yeah.
Thrash.
Yeah,
ice cream.
we'll give you the
Where's
real
my
ice
percentage
cream.
at?
Metal
I
flavor.
We
I
won't
sent
put
some-
vegan shit in it. It'll be natural fucking
I
ice
sent
cream
some
with
new-
fucking real milk. All right, there you
I
go.
sent a new
So,
podcast show coming soon. Metal Ben and Jerry.
Metal Ben and Jerry. Also check out Al Horta's his YouTube page, Be Cool or Be Podcast Out. We're great live shows, great stuff there. Also, Metal Ben's Chronicles on YouTube. Check that out. A lot of talks about thrash and metal, and also they've got a podcast as well called what's it called again? Metal Ben?
The Metal Bastards Hangout Podcast.
The Metal Bastards Metal Podcast.
Hang
So check that out as well, and also check out Mark and Jerry on the Freeform podcast as well.
And Charles.
And Charles on
Charles
the BS
Logan.
sessions as well.
Don't forget about Charles. He'll have
We
a
all, I,
mention
always,
fit
I,
over
always,
you, man.
I always forget to put Charles' name when I mention our show.
I never forget Charles, man. I don't forget any of you.
Man, you know what? It's so great because we all have so much going on, and it all has to do with music. It's a wonderful thing. All
And
right,
everybody
guys,
gets a Rockin' Pod, Tennessee, March 17th to the 19th. There you go.
Rockin' Pod, March 17th through the 19th. Chris
3
says-
weeks from tomorrow, we'll be
I'm
there.
supposed to die. I'm supposed to be dying. Wadzilla's going to kill me there. So, yeah.
It's been nice knowing you, Mark, but I'll talk to you before
Yeah, so
that.
hang around.
I
you
guess
know, I'm
alcohol
gonna hang around
poisoning.
it,
He's
man.
going to get me. And he's going to sell my my right here, right now, Sammy Van Hagar album to Bushy. So, all right.
All right, guys.
Oh, man.
Y'all take care. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah, you're
Have a
welcome,
great night.
guys.
All right,
Bye,
man.
y'all.
Take
Guys,
it
have a great
sleazy,
night.
guys. Later, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.